My name is Lin Mei. I'm professor and chair, Department of Neurosciences, Case Western Reserve University, School of Medicine. My lab study brain development and how brain works, and also pathophysiological mechanisms of brain disorders, including schizophrenia, autism. My lab recently published a paper in Neuron on mechanisms of attention. So top-down attention, it's a thought-driven attention. It's a goal-oriented attention. For example, if you are very hungry, you look for the McDonald's sign, that's called top-down attention. And the bottom-up attention is you're not very hungry, you don't want to eat at the moment, but when you see the McDonald's signs, all of a sudden you pay attention to that, and you might end up eating some food, and that's called a bottom-up attention. So bottom-up attention is based on the environment and initiated by the sensory stimuli in the environment. I would like to introduce my colleagues, Zibing Tan and Heath Robinson, postdoc and students in my lab.
My name is Zibing Tan. I'm a research scientist in Case Western Reserve University. In this study, we use a well-established behavior paradigm. If the mice successfully identified the lead aperture, it will get a food reward. We recorded neuronal activity from hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex at the same time when the mice is performing five-choice task.
My name is Heath Robinson. I'm a graduate research assistant in Dr. Mei's lab in the Neuroscience department. So in this experiment, we associated them poking their nose in a hole that had just been lit up to a reward in the back of the behavior task, and so that the mice would pay attention, and when the light flashed, they'd poke their nose in, and if they did so in the correct format, they would go to the back of the behavior test and get a reward for their action. We discovered that top-down attention, which was previously thought to just involve the prefrontal cortex, also involves the hippocampus. Specifically, the synchrony between the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex is very high during top-down attention. When attention is high, synchrony between these two regions is high. The next step for our research is we studied ERBB4, which seems to be involved with GABA release within the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus in attention. So not only studying perhaps more of a mechanistic view of this attention in these circuits, also looking at ERBB4's role in other brain regions. As has been shown, ERBB4 is important for schizophrenia and major depressive disorders and other mental disorders. And so it's likely involved in other brain regions, which is probably part of the phenotype or what's seen in the clinic with these other mental disorders that involve ERBB4.